8%. Just 8%. His laughter cut through the small conference room like broken glass. I stood there holding my folder of accomplishments, hands shaking. 9 years at Apex Dynamics. 9 years of building the inventory forecasting system that saved them millions every quarter. 9 years of skipped vacations and 2 a.m. debugging sessions while he collected fat bonuses and new company cars. You want an 8% raise after 9 years, Sarah? Marcus, our VP of operations, leaned back and laughed again. Come on, everyone's replaceable. If you think you're that special, the door's right there. Something deep inside me cracked, not my confidence. My last shred of blind loyalty. I'm Sarah Klein, 31, inventory optimization specialist. The quiet girl who always said yes, who stayed late, who believed that good work would eventually be noticed. My dad worked 28 years at the same warehouse until they shut it down. He taught me loyalty was everything. I believed him until that moment. I walked back to my desk on the open floor, still no office after 9 years, and stared at the company intranet post celebrating Marcus's groundbreaking efficiency upgrades. My upgrades, my algorithms. That night, I opened the password-protected folder on my personal laptop. Inside were dozens of my private projects, predictive models, automation scripts, and advanced forecasting engines I'd built on weekends, using my own computer, my own time. Dated notes proved every line of code was mine. Apex had implemented several without ever signing proper IP transfer agreements. Their lazy contracts only covered work done on company equipment during office hours. My best work had always been personal. I scrolled to an old message from Lena at Vanguard Logistics, our fiercest competitor. We'd love to have someone with your talent. The offer keeps getting better. 9 years of loyalty screamed at me to delete it. Then I heard Marcus laughing again in my head. I dialed. 2 days later, I sat across from Lena at a quiet cafe. She didn't waste time. We've been trying to reverse engineer the forecasting magic that suddenly made Apex unbeatable. We both know Marcus didn't build it. She offered double my salary, a senior specialist title, stock options, and my name on every patent. When I mentioned my personal systems, her eyes lit up. We pay fairly for innovation, no shady ownership games. 3 weeks later, I placed my resignation on Marcus's desk. His smile vanished when I named Vanguard as my new employer. My final 2 weeks were strangely peaceful. I trained my replacement, copied every personal document, and calmly told HR I wouldn't sign their new non-compete. In the exit interview, I simply said, I'm only taking what has always been mine. The look on their legal advisor's face when he realized the core forecasting engine was never properly acquired, priceless. I left Apex at 5 p.m., sharp on a Friday, feeling lighter than I had in years. Within 6 weeks at Vanguard, my systems went live. Forecasting accuracy jumped 35%. Inventory costs dropped sharply. Our biggest client, the same one Apex had locked in for years, started asking questions. Then they switched. Marcus called 6 times. I let everyone go to voicemail. One evening, he was waiting in the Vanguard parking lot, looking desperate. You're destroying lives, Sarah. Dozens of people are losing their jobs because of what you did. I met his eyes. I didn't steal anything. I took my own intellectual property that your team was too arrogant to secure properly. You told me everyone's replaceable. I finally believed you. Apex's stock plunged nearly 55% in the next quarter. Massive layoffs followed. Marcus was pushed out. News headlines called it a spectacular collapse of technical capability. The lawsuit they filed against me died quickly. My dated files and email trails proved everything was developed on my own time. The judge dismissed the case in under an hour. A month later, Marcus showed up at my new office, eyes hollow. You ruined the company. No, I said softly. You did that the day you laughed at 9 years of loyalty and offered me nothing but disrespect. People aren't disposable parts. The guilt came later. I thought about the families hurt by the layoffs. Good people who had nothing to do with Marcus's arrogance. One afternoon, Carla, a longtime warehouse supervisor I used to chat with, came to see me. She'd been let go after 14 years. Was it worth it? She asked, glancing around my brighter workspace. All this, while the rest of us scrambled? Her words sat heavy in my chest for days. Revenge wasn't the clean victory stories make it seem. That's why I walked into my new boss's office the next week with a simple proposal: a targeted hiring program for displaced Apex employees, plus training support for those we couldn't bring on. To my surprise, she agreed. We launched a small second chance initiative. Carla joined us part-time 2 weeks later. 8 months on, my name appears on the patents. My team is growing. Vanguard has taken a solid bite out of Apex's old market share. But every success comes with a quiet wait. I learned that standing up for yourself can ripple out and hurt people who never deserved it. Still, I don't regret walking away. If there's one thing I want you to remember from my story, it's this: document your work, know your worth, and never let anyone laugh at the value you bring after years of quiet sacrifice. Sometimes, the most powerful thing you can do is finally say enough and take your talent where it's respected.